is this. We are going to be playing a game called Proportionality. It's the game show of epic proportions. Because it's all about proportions and stuff. And okay, anyway. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to be asking you a series of multiple choice questions. We'll be using the polls on the actual like Zoom call thing. So you need to be answering them. I can see who does and doesn't answer. So if you're not answering, then you're not going to get credit for being here today. So please answer the questions. If you don't know, you can always just take a guess. They're multiple choice. So, despise. Okay. Well, that's kind of rough. You'll have 1 minute to submit your answer for each question. The point values will be listed at the top. And because of how many kids there are in this class, I am not going to keep track of points. You need to keep track of your own points. Today, we're just playing this to see how it works out. If it works well and we continue to do it in the future, we may end up doing prizes and stuff for winners. And last but not least, good luck. So the first question for 1 point, which of the following tables is proportional? I will open up the poll in just a second, but I'm taking forever. There we go. You can only select one choice. There may be multiple right answers. There actually are multiple right answers.
Does it work as long as you get one of the right ones?
Yes, you only need to get one of the right answers because you can only get one of the right answers. So we've got 40 seconds to go. Less than half of you have voted so far.
This is the most boring game I have ever played.
You're so whiny today.
So
I had
quick question.
What's your question?
How do we know if you're right? Will you tell us at the end?
I will tell you. You have 15 seconds left to answer. There are still 4 people that haven't answered.
And do we get 1 point for everything? So we just count it by ones, or is like 2 per point, or on and so forth?
Well, this one is worth 1 point. I will tell you which one or how much each other ones are worth. All right. Okay. So this one, 77% of you chose A, 15% chose C. The correct answers were A and C. So A specifically is proportional. It's 1 to 4. So y equals 4x is the equation we could write for that one. For C, you've got your x value is 2 and your y value is 3. So y equals 3/2 x. Both of them are proportional. Both of those are correct. So if you guessed A or C, give yourself a point, and we will move on to the next question. This time we're looking at graphs. So the first 3 are going to be all review of just kind of the basic, how do you determine whether something's proportional? So which of these 4 graphs is proportional?
I didn't even get to see them.
They're up on the screen right now.
Well, yeah, but when the poll thing comes up, you can't see them.
Oh, you can't see the results?
Like it covers the
round. No,
oh.
Yeah.
Well, you can move it.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. You just drag it. That's literally what I'm doing.
Click on the top of the bar and drag it. You can move it around.
I lost the poll because I unmuted.
If it closes for you, just type your answer in private chat so that I can see that you voted. But 15 seconds left. I'll give you more time on the future ones because apparently I threw people off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So this time we had a much bigger mix of answers, but the correct answers were A or D. So if you guessed A or D, you get 1 point. You do not get extra points for having guessed both. But it worked. It looks like about 2/3 of you were getting it. So on the right track. All right. Let's look at the next question. So this one, which of the following equations is proportional? I will actually say all of them before I put up the poll so you can see them. We have y equals 4x minus 2, y equals 3x, y equals -1/2x, and y equals 4x squared. Relaunch that polling. You've got 1 minute to get in your answers. A couple of you have not yet answered any of the questions. If you haven't answered any of the questions and you don't by the end, I will mark you absent, just so you know.
That's rude.
Like, don't tell them at that point. Just like let them at this point.
That tells me that they're not paying attention or trying at all. So
Yeah,
that means
and just like
you're
let them
not
be
here.
absent if they don't want to pay attention and be here by themselves. Then let them be absent.
Emma, you're in actual pain because of this? Like physical pain? I'm sorry. That seems excessive.
How
Honestly.
can math put you in physical pain?
15 seconds. Well, okay, then I guess we're probably not gonna play this game anymore. Thanks. 3, 2, 1. All right. So most of you guessed B. The correct answers were B or C. A is not proportional because remember, a proportional equation takes the form of y equals mx. You can't add or subtract anything to it, otherwise it is no longer proportional. All right, we're moving into the 2 points round. So this one, it's asking, what do the does the following table mean? All of the different answers are there. You guys can read them, I hope. I will relaunch the polling. You want some money if you win. All right. So for A is for every 20 cookies, you need 5 cups of flour. B is for every 20 cups of flour, you get 5 cookies. C is the number of cookies you get is not relevant to the amount of flour and are not related. D is for every 40 cookies, you need 5 cups of flour. And this one's a little longer. There's a lot more reading, so I'll give you a little bit more time. Janie, you can change it if you type it into private chat. 5 seconds. Actually, I'll give you like 10 because there's a lot of stuff. All right, 5 seconds from now. 4, 3, 2, 1. Charlotte, just type it in private chat. All right. So looks like people were pretty split between A and B. Some people are changing their answer. The correct answer here is A. So remember to make sure you look at which one is which. So we've got the cookies made has the 20, which means you make 20 cookies and you use 5 cups of flour. So for every 20 cookies, you need 5 cups of flour. And because this is proportional, the two are related, which makes sense. I think you use flour to make cookies, right? I don't actually know. I'm not a baker.
Sugar.
Yes, I make cookies all the time for my brother and my mom.
Yes, you use flour.
Flour.
Okay. So the next one, what does the following graph tell us? A, for every minute we use 10 gallons of water. B, for every minute we use 12 gallons of water. C, for every minute we use 5 gallons of water. Or D, for every gallon of water lasts 5 minutes. Poll is up. You have 1 minute to get your answers in. I don't know if you guys are agreeing that the answer was common sense or that me thinking that you might not use flour in cookies is common sense. Why did you randomly pick an answer, Jasmine? 30 seconds before we close out this round.
Wait, no, I have to read still. Can you give me like 1 minute, please?
Sure.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and end. Okay. So this one, most of you got it right. This was, in fact, C. So the thing we're looking for here is, whoops. We have time on the bottom of our graph here. I use my pen now. There we go. So time is along the bottom, and that's in minutes. So this is 1 minute. This is 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And then gallons of water is on the other side. So the tricky part of this was meant to be that you had to recognize that this is where 1 is. And when the line is at 1 minute, we're at 5 gallons of water. So we're using 5 gallons of water per, what in the world? 5 gallons of water per minute. 10 is at 2 minutes, so that wouldn't work. 12 is a little bit after. That was just kind of thrown in there to confuse everybody. And then the gallon one was to see if you would flip your 2 axes. So make sure you pay attention when you're looking at graphs to what the y-axis is used for and what the x-axis is used for. All right, moving on to the next question. Oh, it was C. What does the following equation tell us? So our equation is y equals 4x. There are 4 different options here. Technically, there are 2 correct answers, I think, to this one.
Yes. I mean, I really want to say them, but I can't. But yes.
All right. So here we go. Let me double check. I don't remember. Jasmine, are you bored in all of your classes, or is it just math? Brody, we're playing a quiz show thing game. So this one you're a little late to. You can just pick a random one for now. But on the next one, they're all multiple choice questions. So we're gonna go 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So we had a lot of people saying B. B was our most common answer. The correct answer here is actually just D. So this says that every time x increases by 1, y increases by 4. So if we think about it this way, if x is 0, we have, why is this doing this? Hold on, my pen is being weird today. 4 times 0 equals 0, right? So if x is 1, y is 0. If we increase, or if x is 0, sorry, y is 0. If we increase x from 0 to 1, we then have 4 times 1, which equals 4. So if x is 1, our y is 4. And then we could try if x is 2, we have 4 times 2, which equals 8. So if x is 2, y is 8. So if we made a little chart for this graph, or this line right here, our x and our y, and we did this. If x is 0, y is 0, x is 1, y is 4, x is 2, y is 8. So each time x goes up by 1, y goes up by 4. So that was the correct answer for this one. That's an important thing to note with the formulas, is remember that the one you're multiplying by is going to be the smaller number in general, unless it's a fraction. All right. Now we're into the 3-point zone. So this one is a little bit more complicated. It's asking, what does the point 3, 9 represent in this table? So the point 3, 9, that is right here. Oops, that's gonna, you didn't see that. So this is the point 3, 9. So go ahead, tell me, what do you think it means? Does it mean that the person is walking 9 miles per hour for 3 hours? Does it mean that in 3 hours, the person has traveled 9 miles? In 9 hours, the person has traveled 3 miles? Or the person is walking 3 miles per hour for 9 hours? Some of you
I just
seem
gotta
very
say this.
excited. What?
You on accidentally slipping up and showing that kind of ruined it.
Yeah, that's probably true. Emma's just like, I got one right. Math is fun now.
Well, I mean, I saw the answer and then I went and looked at one of them, and then I looked at it. I'm like, yep, and then clicked on that one.
Well, I think some people didn't see it, so I was
I can
kind
tell
of.
them all what it is.
You shouldn't.
It was
We only
on
got
the
10 seconds
recording.
left. What? Yeah, that is on the recording, but whatever. All right. 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. If you said B, I kind of already ruined this. You can give yourself 3 points. So what this is saying, since we've walked 3 hours, because that's in our hours walked category, the miles covered is 9. So the person has traveled 9 miles in 3 hours of walking. All right, next up. Now we've got a new one. What does the point 12, 2 mean on this graph? So be careful here. A says that something that weighs 12 pounds on the moon weighs 2 pounds on Earth. The moon weighs 2/12 as much as the Earth. C is something that weighs 12 pounds on Earth weighs 2 pounds on the moon. And D says the moon weighs 12/2 as much as the Earth. The first 3 answers were all split between different ones. Interesting. Okay, we're going to be 10 more seconds.
No, wait. Don't let me finish. I'm still reading.
Okay, I read them all out loud. All right, we got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So it looks like most people got this one right. This one is in fact C. Something that weighs 12 pounds on the Earth weighs 2 pounds on the moon. Now, if you guessed B, the moon weighs 2/12 as much as the Earth, that's not a bad guess considering this doesn't actually tell us whether it's talking about the weight of the Earth or the weight of the moon. The way you would have to figure that out to be sure is that this starts at 0, 0. And we know that neither the moon nor the Earth actually weighs 0 pounds. So you can't really have a graph of their weight, right? Their weight is going to be the same. It's just a fixed number. So the graph shows us how much an object that weighs, or based on what an object weighs on Earth, how much it would weigh on the moon. So an object that weighs 18 pounds on Earth would weigh 3 pounds on the moon, and so on and so forth. All right. I believe we have 2 questions left here. So this one is worth 5 points. You can see it's a little bit more on the difficult end, so I'm going to give you a second to look at it before I put up the poll and it gets in your way. This says which equation represents the following data, and we've got a graph just down there. So we have y equals 6x, y equals 1/6 x equals 6y, and x equals 1/6 y. All right. Relaunch the polling. So this was kind of what you were doing on your homework yesterday. So this is a little bit of a complex one. Jasmine, I don't know which one you picked. Got that one wrong. You can change your answer. Just type it in private chat.
Oh, yeah, do you think everybody's gonna remember that?
The answer to the last one was C.
I know that.
Bar basket. All right, 10 seconds.
No, please. 1 second.
I said 5 seconds. You said 1 second.
Next question.
Okay.
No. I still have to finish. I just have to put my
5,
answer in.
4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So this one, the vast
No, I was
majority
literally
of you.
pressing submit.
Okay, that's fine. You can
Got
give
it.
yourself credit for it. You haven't seen it yet. You're keeping track of your own score, Tristan. It's fine. So Most of you said A on this one, but the correct answer is actually B. So what we need to do here is look at the slope of this line. If it was y equals 6x, that would mean that when x is 1, hold on, when x is 1, y would be equal to 6 times 1, which is 6. That would mean we'd have the point 1 comma 6. If we go right here, the point 1 comma 6 is here. You'll notice that that is not on our line. So in order to find the slope of this line, what you need to do is you're going to take the y value of a point divided by the x value of a point. So if we take the y value of this point right here, the y value is 1, the x value is 6, so we have 1 over 6 is our slope. So we should have y equals 1, 6, x. That being said, you get 2 points if you put in c. The reason is x does in fact equal 6y. If we have y equals 1, then x equals 6 times that amount. If y equals 2, x equals 12. If y equals 3, x equals 18. So you could get half credit for C. The reason you only get half credit is because you want to write equations in the form of y equals mx. Well, I'll be darned. And Jasmine, you don't get to just quit. We've got one question left. All right, so this one is a similar question. It asks, which equation represents the following data? We've got a data table over to the right. The equations are y equals 3x, y equals 1/3 x equals 3. Oh, that should say 3y, sorry. Hold on. I need to make a quick edit. This is a y, and this is a y. All right. And we'll start the polling. I don't know where it went. View launch. There we go. All right, you've got 1 minute.
That one's pretty easy.
Well, considering right now they are 3 answers that have.
So did you see the
options.
message I sent you?
Which one?
I messed up on one of the things. Like I had the right one, but I pressed B instead of C
Gotcha.
on
That's
one
okay.
of them. And then like I literally saw it right before it disappeared, and I'm like, oh crap.
Not a problem. We are very divided on all these. Currently, I have 3 votes for A, 3 votes for B, 3 votes for C, and 2 votes for D.
Wait. I just
Let's
gotta
make
say,
it even.
who would vote for C and D?
All
Like,
right.
as a joke?
5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So it looks like A and D were our big winners. The correct answer is, in fact, A, y equals 3x. So once again, in order to find your slope here, you're going to take any point you want except for the 0, 0, because that one won't work. You're going to take the y value, which in this case we have 3 over 1, which is just 3. You could also have done 6 over 2, which is also 3. Or you could have done 9 over 3, which is
Mr.
also
Clary,
3.
for the people who did pick C and D, can I explain why you wouldn't pick those two?
No,
Well,
but I will. So the reason that
dang
you
it.
don't want to pick C or D is because, like I said, you always want your equations written as y equals mx. The y should always be on the left side of these equations. However, x equals 1/3 y does actually work here. So if we plug in this in and we use any of our points, they will give us the right answers for each of these. So you get 2 points if you put D, 5 points if you put A. All right, I believe that's all of our questions. Yep, that is it. So total up your points. Let me know in private chat what you got. And then the rest of today, you guys have to do homework assignments. There is a new one that is all about interpreting graphs. If you struggled with this, so if you were getting less than maybe like 10 to 15 points, you might want to hang around and get some help from me and Barb. We'd be happy to help you, assist you in getting some of the material. But otherwise, you guys are free to go for today. The new homework assignment is in the Google Classroom. Let me check and make sure I know what it is really quick.
You're still recording.
I know. It is either interpreting proportional relationships or IXL K10. So either
I
of
actually
those.
like that. I